Hey, in today's lesson, you will learn the meaning and the use of 20 professional idioms and phrases in English. Let's go. First up, we have to touch base. To touch base. Now, to touch base simply means to contact and catch up with someone. For example, let's touch base next week to discuss the progress of this project. Let's touch base next week to discuss the progress of this project. This means let's get in touch, either over the phone, via email, or we can meet in person. It doesn't matter how you get in touch or contact this person, you can still use this idiom to touch base. Next is out of the loop. To be out of the loop, to be out of the loop. Now, if you are out of the loop, it means you don't have the latest information or you're not up to date, you're not informed about something. So for example, I've been out of the loop since I went on holiday. Can you please fill me in on the latest developments with this project? I've been out of the loop since I went on holiday. Can you please fill me in on the latest developments with this project? So can you please catch me up, get me up to date, keep me informed, let me know what's going on. Next up is to get the ball rolling. To get the ball rolling. This is a very common one, and it just means to get a project or a process started, to get it moving, to get it going. Get the ball rolling. So you can simply say, let's get the ball rolling, or how soon can we get the ball rolling? When can we get the ball rolling? Or you can be more specific when you use this phrase. For instance, let's schedule a meeting to get the ball rolling on this project. Next is to think outside the box. To think outside the box. Now this means to think in a creative, unique way. To think outside the box. So for example, we really need to think outside the box to come up with a solution for this. We really need to think outside the box to come up with a solution. Now, if you are trying to take your business English skills to the next level, be sure to check out the Essential English for Business course. This is a self-study course that will teach you all the fundamentals you need to know to communicate confidently, clearly, and professionally in English. I will link the Essential English for Business course down below the video so you can learn more. To go the extra mile. To go the extra mile. Now, if you go the extra mile, it means that you put in an extra effort, you try your best, and you do more than what is expected of you. So for example, she always goes the extra mile to ensure customer satisfaction. She always goes the extra mile to ensure customer satisfaction. She basically goes above and beyond. This is another expression. She does her best. She does more than she has to make sure that her customers are happy. Next is to touch on something. To touch on something. If you touch on something, it means that you briefly mention or discuss that thing. So you talk about it, not in extreme detail, but you just talk about it a little bit. So for example, in today's presentation, I will touch on the key points of our new marketing strategy. In today's presentation, I will touch on the key points of our new marketing strategy. So I'll mention these key points, I'll show them to you, but I will not go into too much detail. To bring to the table, to bring to the table. Now, whatever you bring to the table is basically value or benefits that you can offer or that you can add to something. So for example, what skills do you bring to the table that would benefit our team? What skills do you bring to the table that would benefit our team? This question is basically asking, what do you have to offer? What benefits can you bring to us? Our next idiom is to iron out. To iron out. Now you probably know iron from ironing your clothes. When you iron the wrinkles out of your clothes, it's the same word, the same verb. To iron something out, this just means to resolve any issues, difficulties, or problems. So for example, we need to iron out a few details before we present this to our client. We need to iron out a few details before we present this to our client. So in this case, there are a few details that you need to address. Maybe there are small problems or issues with these details. You need to take care of them, find a solution for them before making a presentation to your client. to take the lead, to take the lead. If you or someone else takes the lead, it means you take responsibility. You are basically in charge of something. So for example, let's have Joe take the lead on this. Let's have Joe take the lead on this. So Joe will be in charge, he will be in control, he will be responsible for this. Next up is to think on your feet. To think on your feet. So this is a nice idiom, and it means to think quickly in situations that you're not really prepared for, in unexpected situations, to be able to think quickly, to think on your feet. So for example, during the Q&A, the question and answer session, you will have to think on your feet. You will have to think on your feet. So imagine that you have given a presentation, and after your presentation, you have some time for the audience to ask you some questions. And in this case, obviously the questions will be unexpected. You don't know what they're gonna say. So you have to think quickly, or in other words, think on your feet. To get down to business, to get down to business. Now this means to discuss or focus on the main topic that you are supposed to be discussing or focusing on or working with. And this is very often used in a discussion or a group meeting, maybe when you're talking about some more general points, and then it's time to discuss the main thing, the main topic, the main point of the meeting. You might say, all right, so let's get down to business and discuss the quarterly sales figures. So let's get down to business and discuss the quarterly sales figures. The quarterly sales figures happen to be the main purpose of today's meeting or discussion in this example. So maybe you've talked about some other things, and now you want to get down to business, focus on the main task at hand. To be on the same page, to be on the same page. Now, if you are on the same page with someone else or with a group of people, it means that you all share the same idea, and basically you have a shared understanding about something. So for example, we need to make sure the whole team is on the same page before we proceed. We need to make sure that the whole team is on the same page before we proceed. So everyone is thinking the same way about this project or about this thing. To pick someone's brain. To pick someone's brain. Now this means that you get advice or information or feedback from someone who is an expert or very knowledgeable about something. So they know more than you, they're at a higher level, they're more advanced, and you want to hear what they have to say. You can pick their brain. For example, when you have some time, I would love to pick your brain about your project management experience. When you have some time, I would love to pick your brain about your project management experience. So in this example, we're talking to someone who is an experienced project manager, and maybe you are just getting started as a project manager. So you would love to hear about some of their knowledge and their expertise. So you ask if you can pick their brain. To break the ice. To break the ice. Now, to break the ice means to start a social conversation that makes people feel comfortable. So for example, we have a few activities planned for the new hires to help break the ice. We have a few activities planned for the new hires to help break the ice. So in this example, you have hired a group of new people to join your team, and maybe they're nervous, so you've organized some things for them to do that will help them get more comfortable with each other and build a little bit of a rapport. Next up is to hit the ground running. To hit the ground running. Now, if you hit the ground running, this means that you start something new with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. You're excited about it, whether it's a new job or a new project or a new assignment. So for example, she hit the ground running and she was able to complete this project early. She hit the ground running and she was able to complete the project early. So in this case, she was excited, she was enthusiastic when she got started, and as a result, she finished earlier than expected or earlier than her deadline. Next up, we have to make headway. To make headway. Now, if you make headway, this simply means that you make progress, you move forward with something. So for example, despite some challenges, we are making headway with this project. Despite some challenges, we are making headway with this project. So even though we're facing some obstacles, some problems, some challenges, we are progressing, we're still moving forward, things are not stuck, we're making headway. To do something by the book. To do something by the book. Now, if you do something by the book, this means that you follow the rules. You follow every single rule. You do this thing as you are supposed to. You don't take shortcuts. You don't ignore the rules. You do it the right way. So for example, I'm not comfortable working with this contractor because I've heard that he doesn't do things by the book. So this guy doesn't follow the rules. He doesn't do things as he's supposed to. He takes some shortcuts. He's a little bit sneaky, a little bit untrustworthy. So by the book, it means you follow the rules strictly. And we have word of mouth. Word of mouth. Now this phrase, word of mouth, is used when people pass information by telling it to other people. So basically you hear about something from someone else. This is word of mouth. So for example, a lot of people say that word of mouth is the best form of advertising. A lot of people say that word of mouth is the best form of advertising. So there you have it, 20 professional English idioms and phrases. If you enjoyed today's lesson and you learned something new, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment to let me know, and subscribe to the channel. This really helps the channel to grow, and it will help me to reach English learners all around the world. Thank you for watching, learning, and spending time here with me today. I will see you very soon in another one.